This class you will be learning about message queues. Okay, so message queues, it can be used for inter-process communication between related or unrelated processes. Apart from this, pipes, you will be making use of message queue in order to communicate between the processes. It accomplish ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി it makes use of some inbuilt functions. Like message get function will be used. So from the term itself, and a new message queue is created, or an existing message queue will be accessed with the help of this function. Key value will be used. Okay, a key value in any form, any integer values will be used as a key, and a flag variable will be used. And flag variables will be like IPC create or IPC exclusive. For key value together with some flag variables will be used in order to create a message queue. And once a message queue is being created, you will be able to send messages between the sender and the receiver. For end process, you will be having sender process and receiver process. You need to communicate. Pipe you used in order to communicate between the sender and the receiver. So here we are making use of the message queue, where a message get function will be used in order to create a message queue. And once a message queue is created, you will be able to send messages using message SND, MSG SND function, and MSG RCV function in order to receive any message from the message queue. Okay. Arguments it will be using. Message send again a message ID will be there. So message in the form of structure you need to define. Okay, a structure variable render variables message type and the message type and the message data, that is the array where the data will be stored. So message get function will be returning some ID value. On success, it will be returning some ID value. That ID value will be stored in message ID. Some variable will be using, so message ID. So that ID value will be given as a first argument in MSG SND. Okay, MSG SND function, it will be making use of a message ID. It is an identifier that is returned by the MSG get function. Okay, and then a pointer variable. So I said that it is making use of a structure in order to store any information or any data to be transferred from source to sender to receiver, or from receiver to sender. It makes use of a structure. The structure it will be in this format. Okay, the structure will be in this format. You need to specify the type of the structure, type of the data, or the type of the message that is sent. Either it is sent from the receiver or sender. In order to distinguish between that, you make use of this type. And mtext will be the variable that used to store the data that is transferred between the sender and receiver. Okay, so this is the structure which will be used. So we need to create some structure variables in order to access the members inside the structure. So message type must be greater than 0. If it is a positive value, means it indicates that you will be able to receive the data from the sender. Okay. That you will be able to understand when we see the program. Okay, so for time being, you understand that you will be having a message type and message text. This variable will be used to store the information that need to be transferred from sender to receiver, or from receiver to sender. in message message send, what all are the arguments? First one is the message ID that is returned from the MSG get, then indicates the pointer to that structure, and then the length of the structure, and then int flag variable. By default, you will be setting the flag variable as 0. Then receiving message from message queue. So for that, you will be making use of MSG RCV function. Okay, so MSG RCV function will be used in order to receive the. So it will be having a message ID. Message ID is like it is returned from the message get function, and then pointer to the structure variable PTR, length of the structure, then type of the message. Okay, which receive means RCV message. The MSG RCV function, what it does, some data will be sent by the sender. That data need to be read by the receiver. For that purpose only, we are making use of this MSG RCV function. So for any data that is being sent, we need to specify the type of the data, either in a form of non-negative value. Okay, no, in a form of non-negative value, you will be specifying the type. അപ്പോൾ അത് സെൻഡർ എപ്പോഴും ആ ഒരു ടൈപ്പ് സ്പെസിഫൈ ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് മെസ്സേജിന് സെൻഡ് ചെയ്യിക്കുന്നത്. Okay, so receiver, it checks the type, and if it finds that the type is 0, then the first message on the queue will be returned. Okay, and if type is greater than 0, then the first message whose type equals the type that is given in the argument, it will be returned. Varying types. What is the type that is given in the argument? That alone will be returned. One ആണ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളെങ്കിൽ സെൻഡർ വൺ ടൈപ്പ് സ്പെസിഫൈ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള മെസ്സേജ് മാത്രമേ റിട്രീവ് ചെയ്യത്തുള്ളൂ. സെൻഡർ ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു മെസ്സേജിന് 2, 3, 4 എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് വേറെ മെസ്സേജസ് സെൻഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ receiver, if it specifies the type as 1 alone, then the message type of 1 only will be sent to the receiver or received by the receiver. Okay, in type എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് less than 0 ആണെങ്കിൽ first message with the lowest type, that is less than or equal to the absolute value of the type argument, is returned. ഇപ്പം മെസ്സേജ് -2 ആണെന്ന് വെച്ചോളൂ. -2 ആണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ absolute value will be taken like 2. So the sender, if it has sent any message of type that is less than 2, those messages, among those messages, the first message will be returned. Okay, so this is the purpose of making use of this type. Type 0, then type greater than 0, in type less than 0. So you can just, once you get the output for giving the type greater than 0, you can just try it with less than 0 and equal to 0. Then you will be able to get the difference. Okay, so that is a case with the message received. Like a type will be specified over here, which type of message need to be taken from the sender. And int flag means here also by default it will be set as 0. Okay, so if it is set as 0 means once the operation is complete, it will be returning back to the sender to continue with its process. Okay, for that purpose only the last argument is set to be as 0. So we can see then last one more function is there, that is message control, and this message control, it helps in controlling the different operations that is performed in the message queue. One of the operation is like you will be able to include IPC RMID in this place, int CMD. Okay, that is in message message CTL is one function in which it is taking some 3 arguments. Among that, only 2 is required. These 2 arguments is enough, mandatory. The other one is optional only. So first one is like the message ID. What is the message ID? ID returned after initiating the message get function. And int CMD means here you will be giving the command that need to be executed for the on that message queue. So if the command is given like IPC RMID, it means that it removes the message queue from the system. Okay, so how it identifies the message queue? Based on the message ID that is being taken. Okay, so MSG CTL, if a variable that represents the message queue is given, and then the command, if it is given as IPC RMID, then that corresponding message queue will be removed from the system, and all the messages that is stored in that queue will be discarded. Okay, so these are the different operations. In the first MSG get will be used in order to create a message queue. So it will be returning what? An ID value will be returned, and that ID value will be used in order to send a message from sender to the receiver, or in order to receive the message also we make use of that ID. Then we will be using message control, and one of the command that will be used is RMID, IPC RMID, like removing the ID that denotes the particular message queue. Okay, so here we are going to see one example which performs the interprocess communication using message queue. Here we will be making use of sender and receiver. Okay, 2 separate windows we will be entering the program. Sender and receiver program you need to write. So here, since we are making use of message queue, you will be inserting 2 additional header files, sys/ipc.h and msg.h. Okay, additional header files will be included. For msg.h, it will be having some inbuilt functions related to the message queue. Okay. Now, in order to store the data, also the buffer size, it is defined as 30, and the date, in order to store the data that need to be sent between the sender and receiver, we are declaring a structure, and that structure is having a message type. Okay, message type of long int, and data array is also, it is being declared as character. A structure variables is used, send and receive structure variables. Okay, so a structure is used in order to store the data. So data will be like, it will be having a type and long integer message type and a array to store the data. Now, what was the first step? Inside the main function, you need to create the message queue. So in order to create the message queue, you make use of message get function. What were the arguments we need to use? We need to use the key value. Okay, here it is given as 1, 2, 3, 4. So that you can give what you like. Okay, any value you can give. And this indicates the flag in which IPC, that is create flag, is initiated. And the 0666, it indicates the permission. Okay, 0666 indicates read-write permissions given for the particular file. Okay, so if this is successful, means that a message queue is created, and an ID based on that message queue will be stored in this MSG ID. Okay, so if it is not successful, means this message get function, it will be returning a negative value. So if it returns a negative value, then message queue is creation is unsuccessful. Return exits failure. So this exit failure, it indicates that is 0. Zero value it will be indicating. Okay, so inbuilt variable, in order to indicate the failure and the success, we make use of three inbuilt variables: exit, failure, and exit success. Okay, so here exit failure if the message creation is not successful. And then what will be doing? You need to enter the data. That is, you need to get this display on the output screen. So for that, you are just printing the data, printing the information onto the output screen, standard output screen. For that, std out it is given. Okay. If printf std out, enter some data to be sent to the receiver. Then, in order to get the data through the keyboard, it makes use of fgets function. Standard in, that is standard input device is taken, that is a keyboard. And what is the input given via the keyboard? It will be stored in send.data. So this data, it belongs to where? It belongs to the structure that we have created, and send is that structure variable. Okay, send structure variable is used to access that member of structure. Send.data, and buff size that we have initialized it as 30. Then here also you have defined the data inside that structure. Now what do you need to define? The message type you need to define. So here sender, we are in sender program. So we are mentioning the type as 1. Okay, sender, it is giving the type of the message that will be sent as 1. And then if message is sent, so here we have created the queue, message queue, and data is also fetched from the system. You have fetched the data. Now you need to send the data to the receiver. So for that we are making use of MSG send function. The ID that we have used here, message ID. Okay, so message ID, it is returned from, it is a variable, or the value stored in this message ID will be returned from the message get function. So message ID is the first argument, and then what it does, the name of the structure. Send is the structure variable, isn't it? So the address of that structure is sent, and size of the structure also, buff size. Data is also sent, and 0 will be the flag. That is, by default, it will be given as 0 in case of sender. Okay. Once this creation is successful, what happens? If this creation is successful, then it will be returning a non-zero value, which means that data is sent to the message queue. And if it returns a negative value, it means that some error has occurred in sending the message or writing the message to the message queue, return exit failure. Okay. And then so you have sent the data to the receiver. In next slide, you need to receive some data from the receiver. Sender, it will be getting data from the receiver side. So for that, it will be finding a MSG RCD function, message receive function. Here, there also you will be making use of that message ID. There we will be making buffer that is a structure variable that will be used is receive. In order to distinguish between that sending message and the receiving message, we made use of two structure variables. So the address of that structure variable we have sent. Then size, it is same for both, buff size. And for RCV, here what we are doing is a number is given like 2. See, earlier in message send, such a case was not there. Okay, in message send function, only 3 arguments we have, only 4 arguments. What was that? ID, and then the send function, the send structure variable, buff size, and the default value 0 it is given. Okay, send the structure variable and the size of that structure alone is passed in this send function. But in case of receive address of receive, buff size, and one more value is there. It indicates the type of the message that is to be received from the receiver. Okay, which means that receiver will be sending some message of type 2. So here sender, it will be receiving the message of type 2. Okay. So if this function, if it returns a value, negative value, if it returns, then error in reading the data from the message queue, like that it will be coming. And once it is successful, what happens? It needs to display the message that is read from the receiver to the output string. For that, you are making use of std out over here. fprintf std out. Receive means the structure that we have used here in order to store the data from the message queue. Okay. Message queue in the data storage, it will be taking the data as well as the type. So the data part will be given for the display. Once the operation is completely done, what happens? It will be making use of MSG-CTL, and MSG-CTL function will be used to remove the message queue that is being created. So how you will be identifying the message queue? Based on the message ID that is given in the argument. Okay. So third argument, by default, it will be given as 0. And return success, exit success. So exit success and exit failure, it will be returning some value 0 and 8. So it is defined in the system itself. So this is a case with sender. So what does the sender program does? First, it need to create the message queue, and then it will be sending the message using MSG send function. And once it sends, it will be waiting for the it will be given to the message queue for the receiver to receive or read the data. And sender, what it does, it will be waiting whether any information will be given by the receiver on the message queue. So sender, it will be waiting. Once it receives any message in the message queue, it will be reading those messages using MSG RCV, loaded it in the receive variable, and then will be given for display. After giving it for display, it can remove the message queue. Okay, so this is a process done in sender. Similarly, the same process will be done in receiver. In receiver, what is the difference is, first you need to write the MSG RCV function, and then SND function you need to write. Okay, so here MSG get function, receiver part aanu ini nokkunne, adilum nammal MSG get function aanu use cheyyunnathu. Here also you need to use the same key value that we have used in the sender process. For sender process la endu key value aanu use cheyidittulla, same key value you need to use over here also. Okay, 0s 666 IPC create. Then the rest it is same. Then after creating the message queue in receiver, first you need to initiate the MSG RCV function. Okay, in sender you call the MSG SND function. Here in the receiver case, you need to initiate the MSG RCV function. Here the third argument, the message ID, then comes the receive, that is the structure variable used to read the data from the message queue, and then the size of the buffer. Then the fourth argument, it is given as 1. What does that mean? in case of MSG RCV, if the fourth argument is given as 1, then it is reading the data of type 1. Okay. Of type 1. And the last 0, it is by default, it will be given as 0. And if a negative value is returned means from the MSG RCV function, then error in reading the data. So once the data is read and stored in this receive structure variable, you will be able to identify the data part, and that data part can be given for display using this fprintf std out, fprintf and standard out, standard output given for display. Again, now you have taken the data, or the receiver received the data from the sender. Next task is what? Receiver need to send the data to the sender. So for that, first what it does, after receiving, it prints to the output screen, and there's some data that need to be sent to the sender. And from the standard input, using this function, you will be able to store some data onto the data variable member of that structure, and also you need to assign the type also. I have said that we are making use of structure with 2 variables. One is type and the other is the data variable. The type also here we need to mention. Okay. E2 ആണ് സെൻഡറിൽ receive function അകത്ത് third argument ആയിട്ട് we have seen. Okay. Then MSG send, MSG so once you got the data and type variable, using the MSG send function, you will be able to send the data to the message queue identified by this MSG ID. So the structure will be sent, size, buffer size, and the default 0 will be given. Okay, if again some error occurs means it returns a exit failure. So this is the different operations performed in order to implement the inter-process communication communication using the message queue. Okay, so the last after communication, what it does, it makes use of the CTL function in order to remove the message queue, and everything, if it is successful means last statement will be executed, that is return exit success. So exit failure and exit success, it will be returning some value like 0 and 8. Okay, so output what you will be getting is like GCC sender, you know to compile the statement, isn't it? So once you compile and execute from the receive, this will be like from the sender. Okay, enter some data to be sent to the receiver. It will be written in the sender part, and sender, it will be giving some message like this. So receiver, what it does, it will be it will be displaying like, hello, are you there? Okay, so sender കൊടുക്കുന്ന ആ സെയിം മെസ്സേജ് തന്നെയാണ് receiver will be displaying it. And next what it does, receiver will be giving one message, yes, I am here, and sender also, it receives the message from the receiver like, yes, I am here. Okay, നമ്മള് രണ്ട് പ്രോസസ്സസ് വെച്ച് നമ്മൾ എക്സിക്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്തില്ലായിരുന്നോ TCP-യില്, ക്ലയന്റും സെർവർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്. Similarly, you need to execute for this message queue also, like sender and receiver, making use of message queue in order to transfer data from sender and receiver.